Amen. Thank you, Bonnie and Linda. That was spectacular as always. Alrighty, so it's interesting, right? The world we live in. Did anyone think that this last week would have happened in your lifetime with Roe? Who thought that? Honestly.
In our lifetime?
In your lifetime. You thought it would?
Well,
I don't know. I've been alive. That's all I've known, right?
Yeah.
That's all I've known is a world after Roe. And right now, the conversation is here. And we get to engage that conversation. We get to proclaim what we know is true in a way that will have actual impact, I think, for the first time in a long time, should everything go according to what SCOTUS wants to do. Maybe, depending on if they get scared. Because of, people who are outside of their houses right now. And so I just think that as Christians, we need to be prepared. We need to be, I don't know if anyone read, I wrote that blog article a while ago about Daniel and Babylon. We have to be Daniels. We have to be prepared to proclaim the truth, to know what the truth is, and present it well. Daniel did it well. A lot of times we do not do it well. A lot of times we kind of presuppose things, right? We kind of just assume, well, if I quote a scripture verse to somebody, they're just going to believe it. That's not true. We do not live in a world where that happens anymore. I know because I work with people who are my generation who don't believe those things. So right now, and when it comes to, in particular, life, and when it comes to abortion and things like that, I think the evidence and the cumulative case is so strong for life. I mean, you look at biology. When does life begin? Conception. That's when life begins. That's a new life. Who can refute that scientifically? They can't. When you think of cosmologically, everyone worries, oh man, the Earth is so small. Okay, look out to the stars. There's a lot of planets out there, and if we just think a little bit harder, we might be able to get there. And guess what? We can have a lot more people. We don't have to worry about those things. And when you think about the reality of just how vast the universe is anyway, you come to realize that the human population, even if it is a problem, we've been hearing that for 50 years that it's a problem? Weird how that works. After 50 years, we're still pretty much okay, minus random transit issues. The thing is that it's rare. Humanity is actually very rare. And it is beautiful. And it is something given by God. He created us for a purpose. So you've got two arguments technically that aren't even theological yet. I mean, I haven't gotten into the fact that we're all created in the image of Dei. We are all created in the image of God, and by definition, according to our beliefs, every human life has value and has intrinsic worth and should be taken care of and loved and cherished to the best of our abilities. So, as such, I think that we have, again, a very strong case, and that's not even all the arguments. I'm sure we might hear more today. I don't know. We might. I don't know. I haven't read her thing. I'm excited though. Very excited. But still, let's be able to recognize that this is a very interesting time for us as Christians. This is an interesting time for us to be able to present what we believe, but let's do it well. Let's be Daniel in Babylon. Let's not only do it well, but as Daniel did it, he proved it. And that was one of the points I made. He practiced the eating discipline, and he showed why it was better. Christianity isn't just a belief system which we say, oh, we believe, that's it. It's action. We have a chance today to prove that over and over and over again. Whether it's adoption, whether it is promoting adoption, whether it is by being there for women who are going through these hard times where maybe the men are being awful and not being there for the women, we're going to be there for those women. That's what we have to do. That is what is right to do. And then finally, too, the truth is we live in a world where people disagree with us. And something that I appreciate, I went over their website at Heart of Tioga, and they recognize that too. And they recognize that there's women who have already made that decision. There's women who have already decided because they have been, in my view, deceived into believing something less about the child within them. We have to love them too. They are, in this case, they may very well just be as much of victims as Eve in the garden. In some ways, though it was her choice. We can't deny that. But there's a strong deception here. And we have to love them, and care for them, and cherish them too. This is the time for the church to be active, to be engaging. So I think it's important for us to engage. So with that, we're going to watch, I think, a video first, or do you want to come up first and introduce? All right, Sharon from Heart of Tioga. I'm going to invite you up now to present, and I think if we spin that, you can kind of, do you want to talk into this, or just scream? Or do you want my mic? You can have my mic.
No, this will be good.
Okay, and if you need to take it off or anything, we can make it work.
Okay.
And maybe, Betsy, if you need to turn up the mic itself in the
How's
back.
that? Can you hear me there? Is it not on?
No, it's not coming through. Just do a test.
Test.
No. Can you hear it?
Test. Yeah.
A little bit. I think you have to be maybe close.
It's up as high as it
Test.
goes.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
We also have one
You have to
wireless. Would you prefer this one to hold?
And this is, I'll try to use this.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for bearing with me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have just a really short video. So if you blink, you might miss it. But being Mother's Day, I love this video. Go ahead.
It's playing, but it's not video. It's just audio.
Not on the screen.
Sorry, not the video. It decided not
Okay.
to work.
All right.
We'll try to work with it. We'll keep it and then play it another time.
Yeah, not
Sorry,
a
Sharon.
problem.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Betsy got it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. And I'll give her a chance to put our slides up there.
Here we go. There we go.
Okay. Good. Hello. So I'm Sharon Quimby. I'm the executive director for Heart of Tioga. And happy Mother's Day. I'd like to say that while being a child of God is the most wonderful thing that's ever happened in my life, the second most wonderful thing has been being a mother. And I know that there's a very lot of people that agree with me. So, really quickly, here's a snapshot of what that has looked like for me. These are my husband and my 6 children, and the 4 oldest are married and have families. And these are our grandkids, and we have 2 more on the way in the next couple of weeks. So it's been exciting for us. All right. As you know, I'm here to share with you about Heart of Tioga. For anyone who's not familiar with us, Heart of Tioga is a pregnancy and parenting support center, and we're located in just inside of Mansfield Borough. We're midway between Wellsboro and Mansfield on Route 6. If you ever travel in between there, there's a place where 660 comes across. It used to be known as the Y. We're right there at the Y. And Heart of Tioga is community funded, and it's a nonprofit organization. And because we're community funded, all of our services are entirely free and available to all. We don't receive any government funding, so there's no income limit on the clients that come in. Anybody can come in. Seeing and ministering to moms is what we do. We see a variety of moms, happy, excited moms, bewildered moms, and moms in extreme crisis. And many times, young girls, and they'll come in with their own mother. And so now we're seeing a couple of people in extreme crisis. And we serve and minister to dads also. I'm going to add just an extra thing on there. Our focus, all of our advocates are born again believers. We know that the problems that these girls face that are in crisis, and actually many come in that are not in a crisis pregnancy, but they are facing a lot of problems. We know that the answer to their problems starts with knowing Christ. And so this is something that is continually available to them. They're aware that we can tell them about God if they are interested to hear. And our advocates are trained to do that. Because of the need, Heart of Tioga specializes in crisis pregnancies. There have been over 63 million abortions since 1973, when the Supreme Court legalized abortion in the United States. Along with that, there are millions left hurting who struggle with the burden of a past abortion, which the pastor talked about. And I'd like to mention to you that having talked to different people that have had abortions, hearing many accounts, many times there's tremendous pressure. Many times they don't want to have an abortion. And so if you come across somebody who's had an abortion, she may have been struggling with the decision before it ever happened, and continues to struggle and struggle and struggle with the horror of what she's been through. So we have a great deal of compassion for people that have gone through abortion. So as a side note, if Roe v. Wade is overturned, which we all expect that it will be, what will that mean? That will mean that people in each state will have the opportunity to choose what they want their state to do, whether their state will allow abortions or not, and if so, to what degree. It's a monumental moment in our nation's history. It would restore this power to the states and the people of each state. But it won't diminish the need for centers like ours. And so let me share with you a little bit about our center and what we're doing to help. This is what you see when you go to our website, our homepage. Heart of Tioga offers confidential, non-judgmental, compassionate help. All of our services are free. We offer pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, we answer questions, offer options, and medically accurate information. We have an excellent post-abortion help program, and we serve the dads as well. We have a male advocate. An advocate is a peer counselor who meets with the guys if they want to meet with somebody alone. Sometimes they come in couples. Often they start out that way, and then the guy wants to take fathering classes, and we have a male advocate for that. And an Earn While You Learn program, which provides education and free baby supplies. This is Heart of Tioga's medical team and a glimpse of our ultrasound room. Our team is well trained and highly credentialed. Opposition to our cause will say that centers like ours are falsely claiming to be medical clinics. We are not. We're affiliated with NIFLA and CareNet. Those are national organizations. They're both Christ-centered organizations, and they require that their affiliates be fully credentialed as a medical clinic if they are medical clinics. And I know that each of these has more than 1,000 affiliates across the country. So when you hear people saying that it's a lie, that centers like ours are falsely claiming that we're medical clinics, they're the ones that are lying. That is not true. We have met all of the government regulations, and we're a bona fide licensed medical clinic. Our ultrasound room includes a large screen mounted on the wall for the client and any guests. We offer free ultrasounds for anyone 5 to 22 weeks pregnant. You don't have to be in a crisis situation. An ultrasound is a wonderful look into the secret world of the developing baby, and this look has an incredible impact. Studies have shown that over 80% of abortion-minded clients choose to keep their baby after seeing the ultrasound, and also our clients who have come to the center considering abortion have come out with a dramatically different perspective and a resolve to keep the baby. Since opening our clinic in July 2020, Heart of Tioga has done over 250 ultrasounds. When a client comes in for a free ultrasound, a trained Heart of Tioga volunteer advocate will talk with the client, allowing her the opportunity to ask questions and share concerns. The advocate will answer her questions with medically accurate information, and she'll offer caring support. Confidentiality is held in the highest regard for all of our clients. If they have a whole myriad of issues, things that Heart of Tioga doesn't address, we give them literature and information of all the services in the area and help them to get the different things in place that are outside of our scope. And many times they do have a lot of things going on. They come to us for the ultrasound and they don't think that there's anything more we can do, but there's actually a lot. We can get them connected with all the right people and places. Before leaving, the advocate offers a packet of literature specific to the client's needs. Often she's offering Heart of Tioga's educational services and how she can earn needed pregnancy and baby supplies through Heart of Tioga's Earn While You Learn program. This program is quite popular with our clients, and often the client continues to come weekly throughout their pregnancy and beyond. Heart of Tioga offers a wide variety of classes, video streamed through Bright Course. And as I mentioned, we serve both women and men. Heart of Tioga has held over 250 classes. Clients receive about 8 to 10 baby bucks per class, and they can spend them before leaving, if she wants, in the baby boutique. This is Heart of Tioga's baby boutique. We've now been open for a little under 2 years, and we've supplied new moms with nearly 2,000 baby supplies. Most of our regular clients have also earned large items such as those that you see in the inset. Our baby boutique isn't large enough to hold a large supply of that, so when they earn it, they let me know right at the desk before they leave. We'll pick one out. I'll go onto Walmart's site, pick out what it is they're looking for. They'll pick their color and all of that, and I will place the order. They have it in a few days, showing up on their own doorstep. So it's a great way to get those large items to the clients. Almost all of our items are new and donated directly by the community. The clothing, we have a large supply of excellent condition used clothing. We're always taking in clothing. So to give you an idea, the client will earn 8 to 10 baby bucks in one class. Most of the things in our baby boutique are 2 for $1. And now we're not talking cash, we're talking baby bucks. And the clothing, the used clothing is 3 for $1. The new clothing is $1 a piece. If they were in a difficult situation and needed stuff right away, they could take one class and they could leave with up to 30 outfits, or tons of diapers and wipes and bath supplies, that kind of thing, just from one class. I'm really grateful to the community. Our stock has not run low. and you guys are all great in providing all of this. So here are some of our clients' comments about their experience at Heart of Tioga. We've had clients in both crisis and non-crisis situations. We've watched our clients go from distress and fear to a place of excitement, confidence, and peace after just 1 or 2 visits. Most clients bring their babies into the center after birth so that they want to show us their new baby. And some send texts and even pictures to us right from the hospital. In fact, I got a text with a picture last week of somebody that just had her baby. And it's always such a surprise and exciting to see that the clients are thinking of us right then. They had their baby and they sent something off to Heart of Tioga. What a blessing. We love our clients. We're so blessed to see God working in their lives, and we're blessed to get to be a part of it. Also, how do we get our clients? Most of our clients come in because they heard about us either through Facebook or word of mouth. There's a lot of other means that we're putting out there, but that's what everybody's saying. I would say the majority are saying Facebook. We really want to ramp up the word of mouth. Be telling anybody you know about Heart of Tioga, and yeah, we're friends and family is also one of the top things. So please help us getting the word out. And you can help tremendously by just telling others about Heart of Tioga and our services. What other ways can you help? Financially, we're dependent on the community and entirely community funded. Also, there's boutique supplies donated by the community. And I'd like to emphasize today that we need more volunteer advocates. You people live a ways away from us, so I would understand if you didn't feel like that was gonna work out well. But we do. We're always looking to have more advocates. This is possibly the most involved. There's special training that each advocate will undertake. We provide the training and we help you through it. Also, if you choose to volunteer as an advocate, know that we can be very flexible. Typically, an advocate will volunteer 1 day a week for about 4 hours. However, we're always flexible, and I see God continually providing to meet the needs of the staff as well as the clients. You know, flexibility is the first thing that I learned when we opened the center, because we opened it in July of 2020. Most places were closing down. And then when we got to October, I don't know about you guys, but COVID started hitting our area fast. So if I have an advocate call in and say, I was exposed to COVID 2 weeks, I got to come up with other people. If I've got 2 or 3 advocates saying that, it's amazed me. I've never needed to stress about it. God's always provided the staffing. Even when it looked like we didn't have anything left, there were still options that we were able to use. We're beginning to offer also a new program designed by our affiliate CareNet. This is a church pregnancy care center partnership program called Making Life Disciples. The program's designed to build a bridge for our clients between Heart of Tioga and the local church. When we first meet with a client, we'll ask them if they have a church. We ask them about what support they have. And a church, we will tell them, is a great resource for support. And the most common answer that we have is, oh, I used to go to church, or I went to church once, or I at one time, but I don't go to church now. And so we do want to get these girls plugged into a church family. And that's what Making Life Disciples is hoping to do. We love that the community is funding and providing for and praying for Heart of Tioga. Making Life Disciples is a training program churches can offer to their congregations. Some that are doing it are using it as an adult Sunday school class. This involves you in the mentoring work of Heart of Tioga within your church and your everyday interactions. We will, if you did the course, then when you completed it, we would have your church name and also different people that had completed the course on a list. If we're talking to a client and we say, would you like to have a life's mentor? And they say, yes, I would. Then we can find out what type of church they're most comfortable in. And we're working with gospel churches. And the program you will see in Making Life Disciples, if you do it, focuses a lot on the gospel. Then we'll link them with somebody. Also, if you come across somebody who is considering an abortion, or somebody you know that can refer them to you, and you can be like the first responder to that, and you know through this training how to respond and how to work with them, and also to try to get them linked with Heart of Tioga as well. Does anybody have any questions about our ministry? Yeah.
When you think about training for the advocates, like what does that entail? Does that entail like a course that you do at your place? Is that what happens?
There's a manual that the advocate will be able to take home and read through. And there's also training at the center. And the manual is broken down to about a 7-week course. However, you can go through it more quickly. And then I would start scheduling them at the center, and they would continue their training at the center. And as soon as they were up to speed, then they would start seeing clients.
And is it like a one-on-one is usually what happens? Like a woman with another
Meeting with the clients,
Yeah.
it's usually, sometimes they bring in support people with them. When you first talk to a client, you see her alone, so that she has the opportunity for anything she might have to say, anything she might not feel comfortable with otherwise. But then after that, whatever support she brings in with her, you would be seeing her with them. Many times it is just one-on-one.
Can you be contacted 24 hours a day?
Pretty much. So I found that our clients really like using the Facebook Messenger. They'll go to Heart of Tioga's Facebook page, and then they will message me, and I will respond whenever they message. So of course, if they send a message at 2 a.m. and I'm sleeping, I will respond the next morning. But there's a good range that they have to work with to be able to reach us right away.
So that's the primary source of contact, Facebook.
They can calling, and our website has a phone number on there. It also has a Facebook link, and phone calls is a great source of contact, but they prefer to message. Okay, so each mother here has her own unique story and hardships and challenges, and maybe motherhood began for you as a carefully thought out plan, or maybe it began as the image of a crisis. Regardless, to be a mother is a very special role, and it's a tremendous honor. And so I'd like to ask, and we're just going to go over this again because we did it, but it's good. I'd like to ask Mike if he would read Psalm 139, verses 1 through 12. And as he begins reading, I want you to focus on a young woman who can't imagine facing a pregnancy now. And she looks and sees those 2 positive lines on her pregnancy test strip.
You'll recognize this as pastor's call to worship. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou dost know when I sit down and when I rise up. Thou dost understand my thought from afar. Thou dost scrutinize my path and my lying down, and art intimately acquainted with all my ways. Even before there is a word on my tongue, behold, O Lord, thou dost know it all. Thou hast enclosed me behind and before, and laid thy hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is too high, I cannot attain to it. Where can I go from thy spirit? Or where can I flee from thy presence? If I ascend into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the dawn, if I dwell in the remotest part of the sea, even there thy hand will lead me, and thy right hand will lay hold of me. If I say, surely the darkness will overwhelm me, and the light around me will be night, even the darkness is not dark to thee, and the night is as bright as the day. Darkness and light are a light to thee.
Okay, so no, you don't need to sit down yet. These next verses, I'm going to have him read 13 through 18. I want you to focus on that new life that she just became aware of in her womb.
For thou dost formed my inward parts. Thou didst weave me in my mother's womb. I will give thanks to thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are thy works, and my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from thee when I was made in secret, and skillfully wrought in the depths of the earth. Thine eyes have seen my unformed substance, and in thy book they were all written, the days that were ordained for me, when as yet there was not one of them. How precious also are thy thoughts to me, O God! How vast is the sum of them! If I should count them, they would outnumber the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I'd like to briefly share a little bit about what God's Word has to say about the value of human life. This is actually today's issue. We know that it's human life in the womb. And that's, while there are young people that aren't being told that, we older adults, we know that. And in fact, I wasn't aware of this until one of the churches I spoke at gave me a Life magazine. When Roe v. Wade passed, they had to know it then too. Life magazine, I have a 1965 issue where the full front page looks like a 3D ultrasound. It's an incredible image of life in the womb, and then you go into the inside, and then there's several full page pictures right from conception through the growth, and these are all done by camera in the womb in 1965. So today they're really trying to, the common thought is that mankind isn't really that valuable. We elevate animals above man and protecting the earth above man, and it's actually, I feel like the issue is the value of human life. So in Matthew chapter 22, Jesus was asked, what do you think? Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? And Jesus said, show me the tribute money. And they brought to him a coin, and he said to them, whose image, whose inscription is on this coin? And they said, Caesar's. And Jesus said, give therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's. And then he said, and to God the things that are God's. So I wondered, what was the connection? Whose image is on us? Genesis chapter 1 tells us that mankind was made in the image of God. Genesis 1:26 and 27 said, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. We bear the image of God. James chapter 3 says that with our tongue we bless God, and then we curse men which were made after the likeness of God, and that these things shouldn't be. God is saying that bearing his image gives us great value. Whether people highly value you or don't value you at all doesn't change the fact that you have this incredible value given by God himself. And when were we given this great value? Well, when we were made. Psalm 139, it says that God's eyes could see our substance before we were formed, and in his book all our members were already written, already established. And then it says, how precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. How great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they're more in number than the sand, and when I awake, I'm still with you. Our value is established by God. And by the way, the value of Caesar's coin was determined, like American dollars, according to the value of Caesar's kingdom. And our value is determined according to the value of God's kingdom. So, let's shift gears and look at another way that value is gauged. If you decide you want to sell an item, how do you decide what to sell it for? You might think it's worth thousands of dollars, but you can't sell it for thousands if no one is willing to pay that. Then again, what someone is willing to pay for something may surprise you. Like when something we need suddenly is very hard to find, like toilet paper. The value of toilet paper became much better known a couple of years ago. Value is the price someone is willing to pay. So what is your value? 1 Peter 1:18 and 19 tells us that we were not redeemed with corruptible things like silver and gold, but with the precious blood of Christ. God was willing to pay the blood of his only Son, Jesus Christ, for you. God has declared that we have great value. God made mankind and only mankind in his own image. God was willing to pay the blood of his only Son, Jesus Christ, for each of us. And each of us is loved and precious to God. The next time your little ones or your little grandchildren come to you and you pick them up, know that you're holding in your arms someone as valuable as the precious blood of Almighty God. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Lord, we are the clay and you are potter. We are all the work of your hands. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.